first of all, we don't exactly know whether R&D tax incentives work to stimulate new R&D that would otherwise not have taken place in the absence of such policies. So the first aim is to really establish that causal relationship between the tax incentive, so using the tax system to support R&D spending by the businesses, and looking at the R&D spending done by the businesses and any increases in them as a result of the implementation of such policies. So that's the first step. And then a further step is to then say, well, if we have more innovation, more R&D, is this R&D productive? Do we see effects at a wider scale in the economy? So I look at a range of issues, but the first step is really to establish that basic connection between the incentive and R&D spending at the business level. So there's a wide range of versions of a tax incentive for R&D, and many countries have started to implement these policies. In fact, using the tax system to support research and development has become a very popular policy tool. A large number of countries do not pay attention to the specific policy details. A developed country that we know of has implemented policy X. Let's just get a version of that in, say, any middle-income country. And this is actually probably more harmful than useful to the economy, because you might be incentivizing the wrong things. For example, if the system favors firms with taxable profit over firms with losses, and we know that very innovative, especially young startups, do not get into profitable position for a long time, then we would be distorting competition in favor of large incumbent firms against those that are new and small and potentially very innovative. So one aspect is paying attention to the design details. And then each government might have different views on what they would like to incentivize. So do we want smaller firms to have more generous incentives? Do we want younger firms to have more generous incentives? So there are some targeted incentives also available in different country examples. But the important thing is to make sure that while implementing a new policy to support R&D and innovation, it's really crucial to not distort competition or other aspects. There shouldn't be unintended consequences of this type of policy. Right, that's the big picture question, you mean. And so my work focuses on the specific policy, and then ex post, a country has implemented the policy. Is it working to generate more R&D? Now, we know that there is publicly funded R&D, which is R&D carried out at universities, research and development institutes, or direct public funds to R&D via without the tax system. And these are very crucial. So my work doesn't say that, oh, let's abandon all of that, because on average, R&D tax credits seem to work. We should all use the tax system. In fact, the optimal policy mix has elements of each of these different subsidies. It is important to carry out frequent evaluations of these policies to decide on what's working, what's not working, and also political consistency is important. So one government implements a policy, if the next government comes and changes it, for the firm's R&D cycle, this might be detrimental. If the political cycle is 4 years, and if you're a biotech firm with 9 years as your average project period, then you will find it very difficult even to finish that one project over 2 governments. So the incentive system going into the project should be clear to firms when they start. So consistency is important. Having said that, if there are some design glitches, as the government goes along, they should monitor and implement improvements to the policy design.